Day 18 of our Viking European Sojourn trip found us in Regensburg, Germany. Now, Regensburg boasts a rich history, from Roman military camp to medieval town with 140 towers, now reduced to 20. We explored the iconic bridge, St. Peter's Cathedral, and the oldest sausage kitchen in Germany. A memorial to Jewish people and stumbling stones commemorating former Jewish residents who lost their lives during World War II in a period known as the Holocaust. We also saw the former residence of Oscar Schindler, who saved over 1,200 Jews from the death camps during World War II. To say the city has a complex past is an understatement. This was a great city to walk through with its cobblestone streets, narrow alleyways, shops, and interesting architecture. Here we are in Regensburg, Germany, part of Bavaria, crossing one of their many bridges, going off to the cathedral. I think it's St. Peter's, and it's a Gothic cathedral.
Here is a picture out of cobblestones and lime mortar. And it was also constructed with trees and the construction wood canopies, and they are still standing on the gravelly soil of the wood path. The construction started in the summer. Here you have the best picture point in Regensburg at all. So Regensburg is the greatest preserved.
So Regensburg claim to fame is that, well, they claim it's the most well-preserved medieval town in Germany, and it is an old fortress town with many towers. There used to be 140. I believe there's 20 standing now, and you can see some of these in the distance here. So there's lots of these smaller tourist vessels that I guess you can take tours or boat cruises up and down this river here. These are definitely not the Viking cruise ships. The long ships are much, much bigger than this, and they're docked at the main river point. And that's because they wouldn't be able to get under some of these smaller bridges. Now at the end of the bridge, there's a tower here, and that's also the entrance to a museum, and we did walk through that museum in order to get down to the lower bank. It was actually interesting, but not really video friendly. I couldn't get a decent video of it anyway, so it's not included here, but that's included as part of your walking tour. This is the famous sausage kitchen in Regensburg. We're going to show up here later on to sample their wares.
Only monuments I've seen by myself. I was inside monuments. Now I'm living in a World Heritage Site.
Now these ducks weren't afraid of anybody. I think they were taking advantage of patrons to the sausage kitchen because different people were bringing out bread and throwing it to them. So they got used to people, I guess. So this is the historic sausage kitchen, the first one ever in Germany, or the oldest one, I should say, ever in Germany. And apparently in the high tourist times, they sell 60,000 sausages a day here. David and Goliath. The original painting was done in the 1600s, obviously retouched. making ourselves through the old town of Regensburg. So this is Oscar Schindler's house, made famous because he was a businessman who employed Jewish people during the Second World War and therefore saved their lives. He lived here for about 10 months to a year with his wife.
Please, don't forget him, because you don't see.
His wife's name was Emily.
Wir sind mit die Ersten. Und die Leute, die dann zum Bäcker wollen, auch noch zum Bäcker gehen oder...
This is the old city of Regensburg. The buildings come in different styles, Baroque style, Gothic style. So this is one of the central squares. I believe this is City Hall, and the door on the right, it's an old Roman frame, and that is the entrance to the City Hall building. So very old on the outside, but fairly modern on the inside.
One is bad, the second is important. Some violent people who went to the Jewish cemetery in Regensburg. They are not going to visit the medieval Jews. They know but it's not possible to visit because it's underground. It's there. But they destroyed part of the cemetery. They destroyed part of the stones.
So this is a gravestone from the 16th century when the Jews were persecuted even back then. And somebody put it in the wall of their building to keep it as a memento or memory of that persecution. So this is, I believe they call it Jewish Square. So here, or below this little, I guess, monument, if you want to call it that, is where the old Jewish synagogue used to be located, and it was destroyed, but there's still remnants of it below the city street, about 2 to 3 meters down, and there's a Lutheran church that sits just in front of that, and that's what you see here. So in this square here, you have a Lutheran church or a Reformed church, and the old synagogue from the 1600s, now a monument, is just in front. And also in 1939 in this square is where they had the burning of the books. So the Nazis took out all the books. They wanted to kill those memories, and they burnt them all. So this is St. Peter's Church in Regensburg. It's a Gothic style church. I think it might be called a French Gothic style. You can see that there's lots of scaffolding around it, so it's constantly being renovated. It's very, very ornate on the outside with exquisite sculptures, very, very detailed. But on the inside, which I'll show you later, you'll find that it's fairly sparse in decorations, that is.
over all the bridge.
So they built it out of two different stones. The green is sandstone and the white is limestone.
By the way, say something. So the cathedral is scaffolded today. The scaffolded today is not my day. It's destroying my picture. Well, we change every 2 years the At the same time, it's always scaffolded. It was scaffolded 2 months long.
So this church, St. Peter's, was started in the 13th century and then completed in the 15th century. It has made of sandstone as well as limestone. What you see here is the grayish-green blocks are sandstone and the white are limestone. Lots of scaffolding on the building because they're having to constantly clean it. The guide says it's always here. They go from one side to the next and keep on cleaning it.
At the other side, behind the church, there is an arch. This arch is to enter there is a strong arch. This is a place there. And now, well, you want to make Italian, you say here, the left side, it's going to the left side. If you want to have, I don't know, Chinese food, etc., it's going to try to answer.
This is the inside of St. Peter's Cathedral in Regensburg, Germany. It's a Gothic church built between 13th and 15th century. Some very nice cafes outside of St. Peter's in Regensburg, Germany. So after our walking tour, which was about 2 hours, because we did the extended one, which had a Jewish content into it, so showing us the Jewish quarter and giving us some history, they gave us about an hour and a half to wander the city, so we decided to check out the laneways here, and lots of different stores to check out, to walk through, but all these, we took a circuitous route through the city, back to the waterfront and the bridge across, and it was very entertaining, and the architecture was just wonderful. And that's one of the things I really been enjoying about coming to Europe, both Eastern Europe as well as Western Europe, is checking out all the different architecture, the different styles, the cafes. It's just so enjoyable and so relaxing. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Have lots more coming up, all about our European sojourn trip, run by Viking.